At least 4,000 years before the birth of Christ.
Yes.
Have you done any shows? Have you been on any panels, programs, or whatever, where you might have been sitting with a priest, a rabbi, imam, or anyone else that has challenged you on that information?
No respectable pastor, no respectable theologian who knows the history would challenge me because they know that this is the truth. They know this. They're taught this in divinity school. They don't share this information with the public. I've taken dozens of pastors to Egypt with me, and I will show them the scenes of the Immaculate Conception in Egyptian temples. I will show them scenes of the virgin birth. I will show them scenes, for example, at the Temple of Philae, scenes of Aset the Virgin nursing her son Heru among the bulrushes, right? And I will show them the origins of the texts that were rewritten, modified, and recorded in the Bible. And I will ask them, can you share this information with your congregation? And in most instances, I met with deaf silence. But on a few occasions, I've had pastors who were courageous enough to tell me, Tony, if I taught this information on Sunday, I'd be looking for a job on Monday. Yeah. I have to tell people what they are conditioned to hear.
Driving to do this show today, I talked to a potential guest for a future time. And we were talking about the rising murder rate in Washington, D.C. and other urban centers throughout the country. And he told me something I hadn't heard before. He said that how these youth feel a sense of hopelessness, how they have absolute limited trust for anybody or any entity or institution.
Sure.
And that in their language now, a lingo that they use, if they're saying somebody is lying, they say you're churching. So isn't what you're saying an incredible indictment on those who stand in the pulpit on Sunday morning?
Well, I prefer to look at it as incredible opportunity for those who know to begin to teach the truth. There are some pastors who teach this to their congregation. Reverend Willie Wilson, Union Temple Baptist Church, does it. Yeah. Reverend Freddie Haynes in Houston, Texas, has an aunt in his church, as does Reverend Willie Wilson. So there are some pastors who are courageous enough, who have nurtured the development of their congregation to embrace these historical truths. And I submit to you, Rock, that we're at a point in time in our history where we need to begin to discuss the truth. We've been fed lies for so long that the truth is prepared to stand on its own. And we're grown men and women. We can tolerate the truth.
I want to turn to my viewing audience for a moment and to say, as you may well know, I had an opportunity to do, this is the beginning, last week's incredible show and this week's show is the beginning of my third season here at WHUT. And I took this position and wanted to do what I'm doing. And I'm loving and enjoying what I'm doing. I wanted to do it as a mechanism to attempt to create an understanding of a better truth. And I had quite a choice of guests to choose for my first show, let alone my first two shows. And I chose Anthony Browder with a sense that it is the time for us to understand a truth. We are at a crossroads as a society, as a people. We are truly at a crossroads. And, you know, it's often used too much as a cliche that the truth is the light. It'll set you free. It shouldn't be a cliche. It should just be an understanding and a reality. And part of what I wanted to do with both of these broadcasts was to perhaps have you to receive information that would help create a paradigm shift. We badly are in need of loving ourselves. And it's difficult to understand and to love yourself if you don't understand yourself. You don't understand yourself if you don't understand your history. So we have an incredible historian here in Tony Browder that is sharing that information. And I don't know, we've got 20 minutes or so left in this program. So if you haven't already called your kids or your other family members, make sure you do it. Tony, I'm back to you.
Well, look, if the truth will set you free, and it will, then you can understand why our oppressors never exposed us to it. Yeah. You can understand why our oppressors constantly feed us lies. Yeah. Because as long as we believe in the lie, they will remain in control. They will do everything within their power to suppress the truth. So if we're serious about freeing ourselves, freeing our children, and demonstrating to our children what free men and women are supposed to do, we should seek out the truth. We should build a foundation on that truth, and to let our children know what free men and women are supposed to do, how they're supposed to conduct themselves. We arm ourselves with knowledge. There's an inscription